All right.
The issue silky. Okay.
I shared the folder with you yesterday. Just share the document.
Yeah, I'm looking for the link to docs. Because I can't find them in like shared.
I just shared the specific document with you.
Oh, okay, I found them. There's a specific section on Drive, just like share it with me. So we're looking for
1023 attachment.
Attachment draft, okay. Do you see the same thing you see? Which page are you in?
Page 10.
Okay. Boom. Okay. Hold on a second.
All right, so here we have 3 years, and I think we should be fine with 3 years. And it breaks down as online, like credit cards. So I'm not really sure why it's broken down by like the method and then type of revenue, because it kind of like basically the sponsorship or donation can be credit cards. So I don't know, maybe just change online donations. And I think that shirts and masks can be a part of it too. Basically, you donate and you get like a whatever thing in exchange for it.
Yeah, but I mean, like on the paper trail, you'll definitely have something. Okay, here is from like credit cards, or like essentially from the bank. Like, so credit cards, checks, this is what your statements, you will get some form from your bank, right? Then you will have grants that you applied and received, another set of paperwork. In-kind donations, what is that? Is it
No
like
idea.
in-person donations?
So let's see.
Probably it's in person. Then sponsorship, there'll be like another set of paperwork, like deal you close.
Oh, this is the pro bono services.
In-kind donation? Okay.
Donations of goods, services, or time instead of cash. Okay, so in-kind donations, pro bono. Whatever, let's just keep it this way. Sponsorships make sense. We need to figure out, we need accountant to tell us if cloud computing sponsorships are actually revenue, or how we account that. And then fundraisers.
Are we going to do fundraisers in pandemic?
Boat rally. Okay, so I don't think this one is applicable. I don't know. Let's just remove it. Let's assume that whatever fundraising there will be, it can be attributed to online donations or checks. Okay, so then sales. I think we can just assume this is online donations.
For this, we could try, like, if you do I wonder how Kickstarter, when you do like this support, right? Then you get a T-shirt if you like, $15 only. But if it's like $50, you're actually buying like a product that they're trying to sell on Kickstarter. I wonder, is there like similar type of classification? Well, I guess there it's sale no matter what. A T-shirt in support of a project, and this, so it's different. Yeah, it won't work for us.
Yeah, so just the same thing.
Yeah, for us, I think like again, like we're not supposed to do any sales at this, at least at this point in time. So sponsorship, yes. In-kind donations for sure. Grants, yes. And then checks and online donations is, I mean, probably, definitely part of the deal.
Let's start with the easiest one. Let's assume that we're gonna have 100, 150, 200K in the next years for grants. In terms of checks, not really sure. Let's just assume that we'll get some people writing checks. I don't think that's going to be a lot of people. We can put the same online donations. Because if you think about it, we're not going to grow this exponentially as, you know. So there shouldn't be ridiculous growth in here. In-kind donations, this one may grow because, and depends on how people account for it on the other hand. Like if they write off tax using the donations that they render to us, like if there is a PR agency that renders 10,000 per month service for us and they write it off, we will have to account for it on our side. So maybe even like 50,000. So we have at least like a couple of entities that we can jam into this.
Well, to me, like this line will be mostly like for this type of stuff, like lawyers, PR, like those type of entities.
Okay, and sponsorships, assuming this is like VMs, cloud credits, I think like 50K should be fine per year.
Yeah, let me see. So we got 9 plus we got another 9 plus we got another 19. Yeah, so like this year we're like 37 in terms of the, right?
So maybe we need more. Let's put 100K. So 270.
And let's actually here, I think there should be growth as well, right? Because we're supposed to grow in terms of projects we support.
And data.
Yeah. This is where the exponential growth will kick in with AWS charges.
All right. Cool. Expenses. So funds spent on actual programs. So assuming that we have 270,000 in revenue, that assumes we spend it. By the way, because, okay, so this starts from the 2021. This starts from 2020. So maybe we actually add the current year here. I hate tables in Google Docs. Okay, so how many we have for sponsorships? 37 right now?
Yes.
Let's assume we'll get an extra. So 50.
I would like put in here on the ballpark at this point, right? Yeah. So, in-kind donations. Ooh. So ideally, we'll get somebody look into our forming documents, right? In-kind donation should be kind of higher than the following years, I think. No?
Well, let's assume it's September now, so we have 3 months technically, and in 3 months.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah. Agree.
Okay, grants. I mean, let's assume that we'll get some.
Maybe put 15.
Yeah. Checks definitely not happening this year. Online donations, maybe like 5,000. Let's assume we'll sell some masks and then maybe do something else.
5. Okay.
Okay, so we have 85,000. Okay, so 85,000 on actual programs. Let's assume it's 20.
So what is the actual program here? Is it our like vertical team type of stuff, or
so nonprofits operate in
definition?
programs, right? So technically, we'll have to have these programs on our website. So in the same way as Society Library has programs, let's see. Yeah, programs. So we're gonna have these like literature review, product, misinformation, product, and blah blah blah. And this is where these donations will be going in. But I actually think that we should consider this as like infrastructure and operations, because that's going to be like hosting and all the computing stuff. So maybe we should probably put more. Okay, 85,000. Accounting, bookkeeping. Well, technically we can do bookkeeping ourselves, but we need to pay for some tools. Let's see.
Yes, so no matter what, you will have, I don't know, QuickBooks or something.
Yeah, I've recently started using Xero, and much better than QuickBooks. So, okay, we'll probably be fine with just like $10 per month. So, just like we can put $100 here. Fundraising expenses. Not really sure. That's like marketing, probably.
So I'm checking QuickBooks as just like a baseline for pricing. And they have plans for nonprofits, I guess.
How much is it?
Oh, say for 3 months. So for this year, you can do like $21 a month. Otherwise, it's 70.
Just put 100.
And then 150. Let's put 150. It's like advanced plan. So it's in between, not enterprise level, but so it's 150 for like this year, next year, and then enterprise nonprofit is $1,000 plus a year.
Yeah, and assuming that we grow and the 2021 happens, we'll definitely need to hire accountant. So maybe let's put like 2,000.
Yes,
Yeah.
let's do this.
Fundraising expenses. I think that's like marketing and like what people put in as collateral expenses. I don't think.
Well, I guess the thing is like, since we don't have fundraisers in our revenue.
But this is fundraising in terms of like actually, like for example, we put up masks on the website. Do we want to like?
No, I understand it. Like the expenses to kind of like attract the funds.
Yeah,
I get it, but I mean maybe like the naming should be different since we don't have as a revenue fundraisers. You know, just kind of terminology type of thing.
Let's just delete this.
So we don't just have like this expenses to attract more funds. So for example, like you need to pay for Zoom calls with people in our case, right?
Let's add
funding operations expenses, something like this.
Yeah, operations. No, this should be like tools, because there's going to be chart of accounts, tools and software. So this one, let's see what the funding tracker. Let's put the worst case scenario was us paying for Slack. So here we have, how much is it? $8 per user?
So as a nonprofit, so as a nonprofit, we will get $70 off as a policy, but before that, it's something like 8.
Okay, so let's assume that it's okay, so like $1,000 probably, assuming we have 200 active members.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the other stuff is we're not gonna pay for computing, hopefully. LegalZoom stuff, we won't really need it again. So it's really, okay, so like $200 right now, and probably it will grow. So let's put 200 times, let's put 3. So 600 here, 1,000. Insurance. Do we need one?
So the thing is, here is what type of insurance we're talking about. I guess we definitely need to have some like liability insurance.
Yeah, like basic business
Right.
insurance.
Yes. So
I mean, we can assume it's 0 for now, but like definitely, like the cheapest are like $100 per month. So like let's put 1,000. Let's assume there's going to be something cheap that we can use. Legal fees.
so there are already like what, $1,000 plus.
Yeah, but we cannot backtrack it.
Or they're like tools. Or they're like tools. What do you mean, like backtrack?
I mean, if we put this into a tax year, that assumes that we're going to account for them, but we can't account for them because they were incurred before this was an entity. So
I don't know, like, man, I think when you're forming, like, it's essentially formation documents, aren't they like represented in your accounting?
good
They
question.
should be, I think.
All right, so let's
Well, I mean, like that,
1,000.
legal fees, and let's do a comment. Consult the legal.
Yeah, well, and I really want to
include formation expenses. Because again, buying templates, all of this stuff, I think it's part of this initial package, this ball of expenses that you start, as with any startup, right? You need investment to essentially cover this, and then you amortize it for future, and then your revenue, like this hockey stick, supposed to cover everything, including this initial ball of expenses or balloon of expenses.
Okay, so this guy actually offers a consultation. So and Ogali mentioned that it's like $200. Yeah, $279. Do we want to do that? Or should we just assume that we did it right?
So who is this?
This is the guy behind these templates, that website. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so it's just a pure lead gen, these templates for this guy.
Yeah.
So it's $200 for him to review on top of his template.
Well, yeah, we paid $35 for templates.
Yes. Well, things like, I don't. From one point of view, it makes sense to get this guy who created the template, so he knows the nuances, right, behind them. But at the same time, we're not tied to this guy. We could probably find a better deal, better something. And assuming that for this guy, it's like essentially his template is a lead gen business, he's not inclined to do pro bono for this stuff, right?
Yeah.
And ideally, somebody else could be like that pro bono person.
But we haven't been able to find anyone that can do that.
Yeah, but I mean, like right now we will have the filled out template. So there is a really specific thing that we're asking for versus like, oh, we're forming, we need some help. And everybody's like, yeah, guys, figured it out. And then maybe later. Now, instead of this, we're like, okay, here's we need help. We need to review our formation forms. It's much, right? Much more deliverable state of what they sign up to do.
Yeah. Okay. So let's assume we finished this today. I can send it to accountant that I was working on my commercial stuff. Ask him. Maybe he'll be able to do that, and I'll email one other CFO that I know of, just to see if they will be willing to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. So legal fees. I'm pretty sure we'll need more. Next year's
more.
maybe like this, assuming all the compliance and all this data stuff, postage.
Postage printing, why it's 2 lines? Should be like just one. Do we need it to begin with? Like I guess postage if you want to.
Well, someone's gonna
send out masks, swag.
Yeah, printing collateral. Just call it that. So I don't know, $50. No, gonna be more. Well, people are gonna pay for it, right? So
yeah, but then that's why it will be in revenue table. This is an expense table.
Okay, so my donations, if it's 5,000, let's just assume there's gonna be 500. Just worst case scenario. Rent. I don't think this is gonna be a thing.
For this year, for sure.
Well, and if you think about it in terms of like the distributed community, unless we do it for programs specifically, but then we can jam it in.
Okay, yeah, okay, you're right. So our nonprofit is distributed, essentially online space. So rent facilities and vehicles probably also will be out of the equation here.
Yeah, I don't imagine any scenario where.
Well, I guess, like, for example, rent vehicles, well, where it makes sense. Let's say you distribute food for people in need.
No, it actually makes sense in terms of, so let's assume that I go to, I don't know, Seattle to meet with Bill Gates or whoever, and I have to rent a car to go from meetings to meetings or something like that. So that way, that can be justified.
But then wouldn't it be like this, like fundraising expenses?
It's not about fundraising expense. Yeah, it's really about the expenses that are incurred as part of the operation. Because you know how people, rent vehicles when they go somewhere?
No, I know, but I mean, this will be part of that exact program, no? Or not wrong, like this section essentially. Okay, here are the expenses related to fundraising, and you will have like a flight, a rental
but it
car,
may not be fundraising. It may be like a partnership or something. Let's just keep rent.
Well, the thing is, it's still like this rent of vehicles. It's like oddly specific, like line over here when we have like accounting, bookkeeping, insurance. Like everything is kind of like sections.
Yeah, let's just.
I definitely see renting a vehicle as a like code of 5.3.2, but not 0.5.
Let's just put rent in general and put 1,000 for next year and 5,000 the one after. Employee salaries 0. We're not gonna do that. I believe. I don't think.
Like, well, for this year, for sure. What about like next year's operational people? Like
so the question is if they will be employees, because
employees versus volunteers, you mean? Like
yeah, like consultants and contractors, because ideally we don't want to deal with the employment and
yes, especially in
W2
California
and all of that. So yeah, let's put
let's
zeros. Office supplies. I mean, this is really the tools and software. So
yes,
telephone and internet.
I guess same thing. Same group, no?
Yeah, like tools, like communication tools can be jammed in there.
Yeah. Oh, you see, travel and lodging, that's what, like, that rent for vehicles was covering.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe let's remove that rent here and put, I don't know. I mean, if I go to San Diego to meet with you, would it count as travel?
Are you bringing your boogie board with you?
Right.
Right.
All right, so we'll just put it like this. Fuel. I don't think this is applicable.
Again, the same thing. We could jam it in travel lodge.
So. All right, we're done. Let's do the summary. It's 51, 52 to 50. Okay, here is
14,500.
Oh, we forgot to add the funds on actual programs in here.
So add 200.
Okay, so let's see how it matches the actual donation.
Revenue.
So 2021 270.
Hey, we got profit. We just got discounted.
Great. So maybe let's just double this.
But hold on, like it should be kind of go to zero, or all of this kind of profit
shouldn't
is carry over for next program.
Yeah.
Right? It could carry over for the next one, I guess.
Yeah. As long as, there is a routing mechanisms, it should be fine. So, okay. So I think that looks good. Let's see what else we need to fill out. Okay. Breakdown.
Further brilliant.
Oh, this is like per month.
Hold on, this doesn't, so are this part of formation documents or reports afterwards?
No, this is a formation, 10.3 attachment.
But how do we know? And I guess this should be the same list as what we just filled out, I think.
Here. Yeah, so this is an example of it being filled out.
So every expense on the table above.
Let me see. Application for recognition of exemption. Right. Okay.
I'm actually, thinking about maybe we're doing it slightly in the wrong way. Shouldn't be like this post-factum type of thing. So, I mean, I understand this projection, but for example, in our case, clarification, it should be literally all of these lines. Slack, this, versus us trying to jam our current and projected expenses into these categories versus what we actually like. What, for example, we know AWS charges are going to be this. We have the forecast from Cost Explorer. For GCP, there'll be this type of expenses. We have projections. And start from there. The same thing for Slack, for everything we do or plan to use, versus just kind of like jamming in our online, totally distributed system into this type of like, oh, how much rent are we going to spend on vehicles? Maybe we should kind of do it that way, and then it will be all based on, like not our like ballparking, but actually, okay, here is what we plan to use, and so on and so on. And then that way our table will be like 80% is like actual cost, and then only 20% will be something that we are like expenses that we project to have, because that's why we're applying for grants, for example, is to actually cover those type of thing. Or
here, completely less than 1 year. If you've existed for less than 1 year, provide projections of your likely income and expenses for a current year and projections for the next 2 years based on a reasonable and good faith estimate of your future finances for a total of 3 years of financial information. So we definitely need to do this.
yes, my point is in terms of like what type of lines in this table we're filling in.
The ones that will be still applicable in 3 years from now.
Yes, but I mean, like here, for example, like what I think what is slightly broken, in my opinion, is that all of our actual expenses that in the current, like for this 6 months, we're literally jamming into tools and software.
Yeah.
Right. Instead of just kind of like, okay, here is, we could probably have, I mean, there is a reasonable amount of the table that contains the lines, right? And then it should be also like itemized in this following table, which makes sense. But in our case, we're jamming like all of our actual thing that we have, like a paper trail, we could show something. It will be like only for one line, and everything else is our good faith
it won't be for
estimate.
one line. All of these will have fills. Like the funds on actual programs, will be computing. Tools and software, all of the tools that we're paying for. Accounting will be zero once we open the bank account. Legal fees will be Zoom. Posting once we start sending the masks. So it's still relevant.
No, I mean, it's relevant because we're building this relevant, but the way we were doing this, we took some pre-existing list for some entities that were like, really, they needed rent vehicles, postage, printing, it's all different lines. Right?
No, it's a standard accounting, like chart of accounts. Like if you take chart of accounts, the one that is like pre-created anywhere in QuickBooks or anything, it's standard. It pretty much, like equipment and.
Well, it's a boilerplate, what you say.
Yeah, it's up to us to define.
Exactly, that's my point. Is like we're taking some shitty boilerplate and now trying to jam our web app into that boilerplate, and then in development we run into stuff. And I have a feeling we're kind of in the same shoes over here.
Yeah, but
anyways, let's continue here, and then see, maybe we'll be able to apply differently.
Okay, so here we just need to divide it by. Okay, so this is for 2020 and 2021. Inflation rate for the years has been calculated based on 10% increase. Sample clarification notes for guidance. Where are the sample clarification notes? Not here. I'm not sure. Okay, let's just assume that this is a
So
year.
what do you watch? What do you check for these examples?
Well, these are templates, so I assume.
Yeah, but I mean, like which? So the template, but then you were like looking for all of those like clarification. What document was that?
I'm not sure. It says take a look at sample clarification notes. I'm not
Yes.
sure where that is.
Ah, okay. Because I was seeing like you're browsing something. I thought there is actually a provided example.
Maybe it's in the actual 1023. No, it's not here. Let's see where this section is. Okay, statement of revenues and expenses. Balance sheet. I'm wondering where is this like by month section, because I don't see it anywhere.
Yeah, definitely like not clear what it is. Is it just like we take year column and like divide by months and like a monthly rate or something?
Yeah, let's just do that. Okay. So let's assume this is for 2021. So,
Yes.
oh shit. Okay, let me copy. Okay, so.
But then, okay, everything is.
The thing is, in reality, no one's going to be verifying this towards the reality. Like it's all going to change.
So what, divide by 12? This is the goal?
Yeah.
This sounds dumb. Like, what's the point of this table? I mean, clarification notes, I get it, but this doesn't make sense. 31.
Okay. Clarification notes. Oh, maybe let's just Google. Simple clarification.
Should we just like subscription to Slack, Notion? What else do we use? Trello. Damn, have a lot of services. Is LegalZoom here or no? No, it's the accounting and bookkeeping. LegalZoom and like actual accountant.
No, for legal services.
Subscription to LegalZoom. But like, how do you call a real world?
Legal services or legal consultants.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean so we're filling out like legal fees, right? And I have clarification notes, what actually you spend on. And then for legal fees, you say legal services, like it's tautology, no?
No, it's
Shouldn't.
the legal services rendered by consultants. Like fees is just a line on the chart of accounts.
Yeah.
Okay. So accounting software, accountant, contractor, insurance, basic liability.
How do you spell?
With one R.
Travel expense doesn't make sense. So $83 is like one motel stay a month.
Well, because it's per month, which means if it's not going to be every month, it makes sense. So like once 3 months will be an okay stay somewhere.
Well, I guess, yeah, it makes sense. In our case, it will be probably in a format of, like travel, not scholarship, what's the right term? But it's kind of like this, travel allowances.
Yeah. Okay, so we're good with this. Let's scroll up and see if there's anything else to fill out. Okay. Oh, this is that form that people can fill out for manual donations. Okay. Do you or will you make grants, loans, or other distributions to organizations that are not recognized by the IRS as tax exempt? Grants, loans, other distributions. I guess yes, but I have no idea.
So we gather some funds and now we provide grants to non-profit institutions. Is this the question? I'm reading it correctly?
Okay. In general, our foreign activities can be summed up into contributions, educational programs. So I think that's fine. Programs for volunteers. Okay. I think we're good with general overview. Okay, narrative of activities. It is the mission, duty, and purpose of CoronaWhy to assist medical. Okay, so we need to rephrase it with whatever we edited on the bylaws. Okay, I'm just gonna copy this first part. To coordinate the management of unstructured data, blah, blah, blah. In the long term, the purpose of CoronaWhy will adapt accordingly to the needs of the scientific community and addressing other critical scientific concerns. Okay. Okay. Each listed program, percentage of your time and resources allocated. Okay. We need to determine this for each listed program. Ambassador program, programs for volunteers, multimedia, foreign activities. Oh, so these are actual programs. Multimedia, foreign activities.
So regarding programs, if we look at the society library, right? If you see how their programs are structured, they have essentially, so the program is like the stream of projects, right? Like internet government, boom. In our case, it's like literature review or something.
Mm-hmm.
Then Great American Debate, Recycle USA's Air Politician, then internship program. So in a sense, in our case, aren't we at the point of essentially having like one program that is, you know, amplifying, coordinating data set or something? And then so like COVID really like.
Yeah, actually
And then
yeah, that makes sense. So maybe because this makes sense too, like kind of the general volunteering effort. Let's see what it says on the bylaws, because this is where we had programs. No? No. Where did we fill out the programs? Maybe that's the only place.
I guess, so judging by this, like in red, this way you kind of go into details.
What is the activity? Who conducts activity? Or is activity conducted? What percentage of total time is allocated? How's the activity funded? How does the activity further your exempt purposes? Okay. So maybe after overview, we just create the scientific literature review program. Okay, so should we just say, just answer these questions? I feel kind of stuck because this is where there's lack of template. There is no template.
It's like, these red questions are exactly from the form itself, 1023 at the end.
Are they?
Yes. So if you go to 1023 all the way to the bottom, I think. I guess it was like kind of, no, hold on, where did I saw it? Damn it. Okay, I need to, hold on. Just Google what is the activity. So it's page 4. On the form 1023. Now, hold on, I'm opening the doc version. Okay, I kind of get confused, like why we have so many docs. Like, so PDF, I see, it's a form. That's what we need to fill out. And then there is a doc. Oh, okay, so if you go on the form page 4 and PDF, there'll be exactly this huge section that is, what is the activity, who conducts, where is the activity conducted, what percentage of your total time allocated to each activity.
Okay. So, oh, and that's what it means by there is not enough place to...
Attachment. Is this that's kind of the idea?
Okay, so this means... Okay, part 4. This is the same part, right? Let's see. Yeah, part 4. Okay, so now this makes sense. Your activities. Continued. So this is where the... Okay, so this is just check boxes.
Ah, you see that do you will or make grants. Those are answers to actually this form in that doc.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay.
Okay, now it makes more sense, all of this. So how is this table? Financial data. Let me see how it actually look on the form.
Question part 6. This is where we should look for it. Okay, here it is. Oh, okay, so we can't really modify these. Or, oh, here's the itemized financial data.
So which pages did I found some other financial piece?
It's 13, page 13. Okay,
From the doc,
here.
no?
So this is income. Let's see. Statement of revenue and expenses. So we just fill this out. Then there is expenses. We can fill it out. And then maybe we should just fill out this form. And
yes. And then like screw the template.
Okay, well, that's a good discovery. We have a sync with Bianca right now. Do you want to try to do it later today?
Yes.
Okay, sounds good. Let's touch base then.
Because again, if this is rigid structure, we have actual thing to fill out versus like taking some other boilerplate. That's why I had that feeling that something is wrong over here in the process. Because nobody on the receiving end will kind of see like what the guys means by, you know, software and tools, and then go into clarification notes and reading about Slack, Mirror, and some stuff. Nobody's going to do this. You were right. So the whole work is like, bureaucrats are not wasteful. They're super efficient, right? It just overhead of bureaucracy is what.
Okay, let's jump into another one.